Hello everybody, today we're going to be taking a look at a box of bulbs. We haven't done a video like this in quite some time, but I thought, why not? Let's do something a little bit different. So today, we're going to be taking a look at some various LED bulbs that are all in this particular bin. I have other bins of other types of bulbs. I try to separate them based on their type. This one's all LED, so let's dive right in. Well, this one right here is a GE filament LED bulb. Interesting, got the GE logo here, and then like the rest of the etch, that's kind of random. It has one of those bigger skirted bases on it, but they did put a plastic thing around it, so in case your fixture is wired wrong, at least you're not, shocking yourself on it. But not a bad filament LED bulb. It does well. I had this in a lamp in the spare bedroom before I ended up not needing it anymore. In fact, here is a second one, exact same thing. It came in a pack of 2. I got them at clearance at Walmart quite some time ago. They work well. So those are some nice little GE ones. Let's see, here we have a flame-shaped one. This one is an EcoSmart. I believe I got this one from my boss. It's a 4-watt, 5000K. filament LED bulb. Again, we have the bigger skirted base here with a plastic protector. Yeah, that's blue all right. I used one of these in the fan light in the bathroom for a little bit before changing it out for a different ceiling fan. It's harsh, as you can see, but I mean, it's great for utility lighting. It works really well for that. Here we have another flame-shaped bulb. This one's interesting. This one has dual filaments on each side. So we have, 4 sides, but we have 8 filaments all together. I want to say this one's supposed to be like a 75-watt equivalent. It's a 6.5 watt. Again, with this bigger base, but this time they dipped it in like a silicone. I like that a little bit better than the plastic ones, because these plastic ones, you can just pull that off, So this is a lot safer. This is a Cree LED bulb. Interesting how it took a second to come to full brightness there. That's different. But it is incredibly bright. I don't know if it equals 75 watts. It's most certainly closer to 60. I've never really seen a 75 watt flame bulb like this before. But it's incredibly bright and would be great in a fixture that has just a candelabra base, because you can get, a bright amount of light out of such a small enclosure. I don't know what it would be with the life expectancy of that, though. Continuing on with that, here's another one. Same exact thing. We just have the Cree logo on it there. And it looks like this one here is the same thing we were just taking a look at with the Daylight EcoSmart brand. Indeed it is. With the Daylight filaments there. These things are interesting. These are a kind of flame, it's supposed to mimic a flame anyway. There you go. It's brighter on one side than the other. This side's much brighter because you have all the LEDs on this side. And I mean, sure, some shows through on this side, but one side's brighter than the other. Now, I think if we were to turn these off and on fast enough, there we go, we can get it to be solid. I believe I picked up a pack of 3 of these at Home Depot. I was going to try them out in a light in the basement here, but they ended up being so much brighter than a standard neon LED. I just couldn't deal with it. But it's a neat effect, I'll give it that. Unique bulbs. They even came with base reducers, like this thing. So here's another one. Same exact thing. There's probably another one hidden in here too. Let's move on over to doing some of the medium base bulbs. Let me get this adapter out of here. This is a nice old Cree LED. This thing's huge. I do believe it has hours on it. I got a bunch of these from my boss years ago, and I think this one still worked. So let's go ahead and try it out here. Very early Cree. Yep, it still works. I was going to say it's got a bit of a flicker to it, but no, not really. I always liked these early Cree LEDs. They had this silicone coating on it that made the light look like it's coming from a really old frosted, inside frost incandescent. Like an old vertical filament or C-shaped filament, 100-watt inside frost bulb. Now, you'll see these out and about once in a while. I still do. A lot of them are suffering an interesting death where the yellow coating that is over the blue LEDs is fading away and dimming out, and they're just weird when they go out. They have a really odd death to them when they finally go. But we have a nice big metal heatsink here, and this might be metal too, the base, but it's maybe plastic. I don't know, it kind of feels metal to me. I like the etch on the top though. You don't see stuff like that very often. It is a bright one, though. My goodness. You can see it dim down. Very cool. This one's sitting right here. This is a Great Value brand LED bulb. Got this on clearance, actually. I have one in the ceiling fan out here in the garage. It would have been nice if they did like a filament LED version of this, but they got like these LEDs on a stick inside. Kind of reminds me of those GE bulbs they have. They're generic. They kind of have a similar structure inside. I don't have any of them because they're absolute, garbage. But this one's unique. It's got the old flame going on here. I have a bunch of these in incandescent back home, used in 25 watt. But it's nice to have an LED version. That's pretty cool. Something you don't see every day. Here we have an orange bulb. This one I think I got on clearance too somewhere. I want to say they had it at Kroger or Fred Meyer. Same thing, but depending on where you live. It doesn't look that orange on camera, but in person it's a nice orange. Had to have been on clearance. I don't know what else I would have picked this thing up for. It's supposed to be an S14 sign lamp. And I mean, it's about that size, but it'd be nice if it was all glass and filament LED. That would be pretty cool. But not bad for accent lighting. I mean, can't complain with stuff like that. Here we have a pretty generic Globe branded LED bulb. This thing is, as light as can be. There's no weight to this thing. My friend got this one for me out of a dumpster from CVS Pharmacy when they were doing remodeling. They threw away pretty much all their inventory inside of the store. And he brought back a whole bunch of bulbs he found in their dumpster, among many other things. And this was one of them. I mean, it lights things up well. It doesn't seem to have a 60 hertz flicker. So I just don't know how long it would last because there's not much of a heat sink here. It's just so light. Okay, here's an Osram. This is actually a bulb that I got with the house when I bought it. It was in these Lightolier fixtures in the ceiling. I actually have two of these in a lamp at work. And they are still going to this day. One of them will kind of like dim out and then get brighter, but I haven't seen it do that in quite some time, actually. So maybe it stopped doing that. But if you take a look inside, it seems to be a couple lobes of LEDs in there, maybe in like a pyramid shape or something. Interesting. It's got a little bit of a dim out there. The one thing that I thought I noticed there's something interesting on here. No, pretty standard stuff. What else do we have? Here's another LED. This one is a Philips dimmable. I don't have the dimmer right here for our quick demonstration, but I bet this is one of those where you dim it down and you get that warm glow color. It doesn't really say that on here, so maybe it's just a standard Philips LED. No idea where I got this thing. Maybe it came with a lamp at a thrift store or something. Pretty typical snow cone style LED, really. Now here's some filament LED globe bulbs. These are 4 watt. I don't remember what I bought these things for. That seems kind of dim. Maybe it's supposed to equal 40 watt. I don't know. Maybe it was dying and I kept it. I don't know. It just seems kind of dim. I'm trying to see here. I like how they even put 3-pack on the bulbs. Like it came in a 3-pack. Yeah, I don't remember what I got these for, but there's one. Here's another one. I don't think they were for the apartment. Maybe they were. I had some CFLs that we used there But maybe some of them went out, and I ended up getting these for temporary use before we moved out, and I put all the incandescents back in. Not bad for accent lighting. It's not the brightest thing in the world, but maybe I went for a lower wattage equivalent. Oh, there's all kinds of goodies in here. This is an interesting one. This is a Cree 4-flow bulb. It has 4 different quadrants, and it was made to let the air flow through the bulb. 4 flow, because we got 4 quadrants and it's flow. So whether it's base up or base down, the air could flow through the bulb and cool the LEDs inside. Now, if you see in there, you can kind of see the LEDs on the boards here, and they kind of have it in such a way that it won't glare at you. I remember when these came out, I got a couple of them with my grandmother, and I know she used a couple in her lamps. They worked really well, and they dimmed well too. But it was an interesting design that I don't think lived very long, because I never saw them very much. I always saw these older designed Cree LED bulbs. Yeah, you can't really see the LEDs inside. I mean, they do a decent job of trying to hide them. I also like that it gives a kind of like a frosted bulb aesthetic again. Very lightweight. So an interesting design, you know, one step in the evolution of LEDs. Here's a smaller, you know, original design Cree LED. Heavy as can be, of course. All metal and glass construction with a silicone coating here. This one still's working. Another one that I got from my boss. This one's interesting because you can squish it. Isn't that just fun? I don't remember what the whole idea of it was, other than if you drop it, it doesn't break. But I mean, most of these bulbs are plastic to begin with. If I drop this, it's not going to because it's plastic. So I don't know what you really need the silicone for, other than it's a very interesting design. So, of course, the LEDs are down there at the bottom. See if you can try to see them. There they are. And then, of course, you can make an art project out of it here. Isn't that kind of fun? I thought it was going to pop back up. There it goes. So, I mean, an interesting concept. I think I got it on clearance at Home Depot or something like that. Interesting. Okay. Here we have a Great Value brand tubular LED bulb. I believe another one I got on clearance at Wally World. It has 4 filament LEDs inside. Would have been nice if they did 2 and 2 or something like that, but they centered them all in the middle. Don't really have a use for it. Obviously, none of these because they're in a package here, but finding tubular bulbs like this, you don't come by too often. So that was a nice little find there. Here we have I want to say it's a Fight Electric. Yes. This is a R16 LED replacement. So a longer neck version. Took a second there to come to life. This I got on clearance at the local McClendon's Hardware. Lights things up well. I think everything in the bin was $1, so I think I got it for $1. Not a bad LED bulb for $1. You never know when you might need some little accent thing like that. This one is, oh, it is LED. This is this a 60 watt equivalent? I'm sure somebody has seen it already. 7 watt, yeah, so I'm going to assume a 60 watt equivalent. I guess so. I got a bunch of these when I got the ceiling fans, when I got the house, because these bulbs put out a lot of light for the size. And that's what the ceiling fans took. I was surprised that they took a standard bulb like this. It couldn't fit a A19, but an A15 like this fit in there perfectly fine. And they're still working to this day. No issues there. I think I had one that had some dimming problems in a separate fixture, but not bad bulbs, these filament LED EcoSmart things. Here's another one. This one has the etch on the top. 6.5 watt. Yeah, same thing. Just a different version. Now, I want to say when I went and got some more, This is the modern one because it doesn't have the etch on the top. They dim at different rates. So I'm sure that these were manufactured by two different companies for the Home Depot to put as their own brand. Here we have an itty bitty one. Looks like we're going to need our adapter here again. This is an IKEA. I want to say this came with some lamp again that I got at a thrift store. Little tiny golf ball style lamp. Oh, the thing is dim as can be. Okay then, we'll move these over here so you get more things to look at, and then I don't have to reach as far as I start filling it up. Yeah, this thing is really dim. It's not bright at all. It's definitely got to be for accent lighting. I'm not sure what I found it in, but there it is. It exists. Now I have a whole bunch of these, and you can see them all throughout the bin here. But we're not going to turn them on because they're actually 9 volts. These are 9 volt LED bulbs that came with a interesting lamp I got at Fry's Electronics before they went under. And they do work with a 9 volt battery. So, I mean, you could make some interesting things out of this. I just have a whole bunch of them because I converted it into an actual 120 volt display. And it's on the thing down here. Anyway, enough of that. We'll have to turn those on some other way. Here's a Satco lamp. I think this came with a whole bunch of other bulbs I picked up at the second use place a long time ago. 3.5 watt. It's not too bright. I felt like it was going to be brighter than that for some reason. It's got a nice frost to it. Here we have some, I don't know, T8 tubular bulbs. Picked these up at the Restore. I thought I could use them in a particular accent lamp I had, but it ended up being a little bit too bright. They do have a little bit of a 60 hertz flicker, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Let's see, here's 2 more of them. Got a whole bunch of duplicate stuff in here. Here's an interesting one. This one is an IKEA bulb. This is dimmable, of course. But it's unique because it has a glass top and then a plastic bottom on it here. You know, before everybody was going to complete glass, which is so much nicer. But IKEA sold these to be put inside of some of their lamps. Now, the sad thing here is that they have the LEDs facing this way. So this side's dimmer than this side. It's not the most noticeable thing, but I notice it. You see electronics down there in the bottom. And, oh my, here we have a little nightlight bulb. This is a Sylvania. This thing's dirty. Where in the world did I find this? Oh, this probably came from McClendon's on clearance. Yep, just a little LED nightlight there. These are blue Fight Electric nightlight bulbs. Yeah, that looks very UV. Ooh. That's that kind of terrible blue light, to be real honest with you. Here's another one. It's just literal LEDs with some clear gel over them. Now, normally you'd have the same style of LED, and what they would do, you have these terrible blue LEDs, and you put this over it. This is not working real well, but that'll convert it into usable white light. Isn't that interesting? So somehow they thought people wanted that as a nightlight. Here's our little Sylvania again. Just a little daylight bulb. Oh my. Okay, this one's different. This one's some Walmart brand. It's just another nightlight bulb. Nothing too crazy there. It's got moisture inside of it, as you can see. These are Walmart brand again. Not too bad. I mean, I like that it's frosted, so you don't have some harsh light. I bought a whole bunch of different ones because I was trying to find at the time. Yeah, these are all the exact same thing. I was trying to find one like this that would put light in a certain direction. Now, as you can see, this thing is as dim as can be because I had this in a lamp on 24/7, 365, And I ended up finding the exact same thing, put it in there, and now that one's going the same way. It's incredibly dim. It's getting to the end of its life. Here's another one of those flicker flame ones. Oh my, there's more blue LEDs. I thought we were done with those. Okay, this is a Fight Electric filament LED. This one looks like it's glass, but it's actually plastic. I like these. These are nice nightlight bulbs. They're not super bright. I think that I got at Menards. There's another one. We got a lot of little nightlight bulbs in here. Okay, here's one of my favorites. These are GE C7 nightlight bulbs. This one is 40 lumens, so this is the brighter one. And I use these. Is this the brighter one? Yes, because that's what this is here. This is, yeah, this is the brighter one. 40 lumens, yes. These I use in the Lightolier track lighting in the basement. They work really well. I haven't had any of them burn out, knock on wood. And I like the design of it. It just kind of looks funny with this giant base. So those are pretty cool. That's what these are in the packages in here as spares. Boy, we have even more of these blue ones. They must have had a bunch of them in the clearance bin. This one is interesting. This is a Cree LED, and it's a warm glow dim. Now, of course, I don't have the dimmer here, but as you dim it down, it gets warmer in color. But the whole thing's a plastic outer casing. They really did an interesting job here with the distribution of light and these weird refractors. But that's how it was at the time. See if you can see the different colored LEDs. You can kind of see the warmer ones here and the bluer ones there. Doesn't want to focus too good on it, but it's got a mix in there. And how it kind of comes all the way down around it. That's just unique. It's pretty hefty too. I think it's got a lot of weight to it versus the filament LEDs of today. Here is another one. This is a Halco. I think I got this in the bin of random bulbs from the second use place again. Looks like it's got some moisture or something in the inner globe here because it's kind of foggy. But again, with the very interesting refractor inside, very early LEDs had that. Some interesting design stuff you just, again, don't see anymore. Okay, let's get rid of our adapter here for a little bit and take a look at some of the other ones. This is a Philips, just regular LED. It's heavy. It's got a pretty white front on it here compared to the side. And it looks like it's one of their smart LEDs, but it's not. It's just a standard one. It's some of the LEDs inside are starting to turn back to their original blue color. It's hard to tell, but this side's brighter than this side. Apparently picked it up for 50 cents a long time ago. It's got some weight to it. But speaking of that, here is one of them that doesn't have the globe anymore, so you can see what's going on the inside. Here we go. That is blue. That is insane blue. Now, if we take our little thing here, put it over the top, our little phosphor rubber thing, we get regular light. Insanely blue. Regular light. Insanely blue. Isn't that unique? That's why I kept this one, is that it's a great example of how these LEDs work. You have these specifically blue wavelength LEDs, then you add a phosphor coating to them to get the white light. Isn't that interesting? A nice little example piece, that's for sure. This one is unique, not only by its looks, but the fact that it has an interesting color temperature. It's cool white. You don't see cool white LEDs. Like, who's asking for this? I love cool white fluorescent, so I need a cool white LED. This is made by something bright, very bright. This I got with a whole bunch of other bulbs at the second use building material place again. Very unique color temperature. I like that. You can see all the, again, LEDs covered in there, phosphor coatings in there. This is all plastic, but there definitely is a metal heatsink inside because it definitely has some weight to it. We're getting to the bottom. Here we have a big one. This is a Cree 3-way LED bulb. Oh, interesting. I believe I got this from my boss as well. 1, 2, 3. Sure enough. 1, 2, 3. Now, some CFL versions would have done like medium, low, high, or some weird stuff like that. But this is a normal range. Again, it has some weight to it for sure. This thing is heavy. Here's an EcoSmart R20 flood bulb. I use these in the track lighting in the basement. They work really well. I really like them. They have great dimmability. Now, they don't make these anymore. They make color selective and spot flood versions, and it's ridiculous. So I got a whole bunch of these before they stopped making just a simple LED bulb. And thinking of that, here we have some nice original GE R20 LED bulbs. I love these. I actually have a couple of them. Here's one here. Here's another one. I got a bunch of them. But they have a very pleasant color. I want to say it says on here like 2800K or something. But they have a very pleasant color temperature. I remember when they first came out with these, Red Robin restaurants were using them, and they had some news article about it. But these weren't cheap. These are very early LED bulbs. After these came out, they eventually changed the design a little bit to what you see here. It's a little bit clearer. And I think it got a little bit warmer in color temperature as well. But we still have the 3 LEDs in there. So it's interesting how GE has changed it over the years. Here we have this is a Fight Electric PAR 16 LED. You can see the LEDs in there. This was another dollar find at the hardware store. Nice white halogen-like light. I do like that. Okay, let's see here. We've done the flood bulbs. Here's a long decorative one. This is a Philips dimmable. This must have been with a whole bunch of other ones. I don't think I would have gotten this on its own, but maybe I did. Maybe it was on clearance or something at Home Depot. But it's got that amber aesthetic going on here. They call it an Edison bulb, even though it's totally not. It's more like a dim high-pressure sodium. And again, with the LEDs not being mixed up, it's brighter this way than this way. Can we make them the same way sometime? They don't think. Here we have what looks to be some more daylight bulbs, just because the color is so light in the yellow department. Yep, that's daylight, all right. My goodness. These are Fight Electric. I'm not sure what the equivalent is. 5.5 watt, maybe 40 or 60 watt equivalent. Okay, let's see. There's some other ones hiding here. We've done this guy already. This one is fun. This is a very early color-changing LED bulb. I used this in college in a lamp. It was on 24/7, 365 for a long time, and it still works. It has a whole bunch of standard LEDs in there. You can see them at the bottom. And it just fades between the 3 different colors, red, green, and blue. Pretty cool early color-changing LED. Love that kind of stuff. Okay, I think what we have left needs our adapter here again. We've already done this Halco one. This is a GE. This is what would have came before they did the filament LED ones here. I remember getting these, not the specific one, a long time ago at, I want to say, Sam's Club with my parents, and they had them in really big packages when LED was first coming out. They're not very bright. As you can see, this thing is dim as can be. So it's great for accent lighting. I think this one was brand new, actually. Again, some clearance item somewhere. It's glass. It's very heavy. I'll give it that. And last but not least, we have this one here. This is a Sylvania bulb. I think this was another find at the hardware store for $1. Yeah, it's kind of like a A15 or 16 or 17. I don't know. It's a kind of a weirder shape. But again, it's that transition between when we were starting to do all glass and we still needed a ballast compartment. But it also has a candelabra base. So I'm going to guess they marketed it towards like a ceiling fan or something. And I think that's it. I mean, we have this one here, which we need an adapter for. And of course, this night light. This is, again, a night light. So it's really just supposed to be plugged in. There you can see it lit up. And that's really about it for that thing. I'm not sure why I put it in here, but you know what? There it is. So, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video, or not so quick, we're at 31 minutes now, but I hope you enjoyed the video nonetheless, taking a look at a whole bunch of different LED bulbs from over the years. As always, I do hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, be sure to give it a like down below and leave a comment. I do enjoy reading all of your comments. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more great videos like this one. Also check out my secondary channel Merkove and subscribe over there for more behind the scenes and alternative content. Of course, check out the other videos here on this screen, and as always, thank you very much for watching.